Cowboys are going to get whooped. This offense without CeeDee Lamb and with 2 offensive linemen out going against this defensive line, that's one of, if not the best pass rushing defensive lines in football.
Yeah.
They're going to get smoked. Cowboys are going to get whooped.
Cowboys are going to get whooped.
Yes, Dan Orlowski with the elite take. Dallas is going to get trounced, but they didn't. And last week when Brian Schottenheimer said, we're good enough to win this game without CeeDee Lamb, I told you guys there was a path to win this game. Now, the truth is a tie sometimes feels like a loss, right? Like it's like, oh, why? Like you rather win, lose, but the Cowboys showed a lot. I'm not Mr. Moral Victory guy, but if you really put this whole game into context, the Green Bay Packers coming in were a Super Bowl contender with the top 3 defense. The Cowboys showed they could play football with anybody. These are some of the growing pains that they have to go through, but I still feel really good about this team, and I'm not going to waver. All right, I'm not going to be like the win and just go one way. No. Staying straight down the middle, I still feel really good about this football team. Let's talk about 10 standouts from this game. I got a great list of guys, some honorable mentions that'll fall within the standouts, but I think that the Cowboys are on the right path, even defensively, right? They're not playing good football. They gave up 40 points. But there were still some guys on defense that stood out. Let's talk about it. Let's not listen to Dan Orlowski, please. Why? What are we doing? As always, guys, this video is brought to you guys by Sleeper. Sleeper has some amazing picks. Get ready for that Thursday night game, San Francisco versus the Rams. I mean, that's going to be a smoker if I don't know one. I'd be playing all of Puka Nacua, overs, whatever the case. And the thing about Sleeper is it's an interactive app. You can parlay things. You can parlay games that are coming up. All the things you can do on that app, it really is fantasy-centered, fantasy-focused, and you get a chance to make some money. Sleeper, thank you for sponsoring this channel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some standouts from this game. Like I said, watching the film, I rewatched it today. It's a tie, right? We know the issues that this team is having defensively. But I got to tell you, there are some really good things happening on the offensive side of the ball, considering that you were down 2 starters on the offensive line. Cooper Beebe and Tyler Booker weren't there. CeeDee Lamb was not there. You still moved the ball at will versus a top 3 defense. People need to understand this. A top 3 defense. Brian Schottenheimer had his guys ready to go. Yes, they started a little bit slow in that first quarter. They got themselves together after the block punt. You have to feel good about what this team is doing. Let's get to the honorable mentions. Jalen Tolbert, Ryan Flournoy, Kevontae Turpin, and Wanye Thomas. I think those guys really played good football. Like I said, Wanye Thomas stepped in when Malik Hooker got hurt. He also kind of like changed the momentum of the game with that blocked field goal. Nothing was really going your way. He was able to flip the momentum, really. He really was. Ryan Flournoy came in, had some timely catches, had the reverse, did some nice things. Kevontae Turpin as a route runner. Okay, he had the route where he just did Keyshawn Nixon dirty. The problem was it got called back because of Nate Thomas lining up offsides. And really, if you want to add Nate Thomas to this list, somebody who rotated throughout the game, held his own with the snaps that he got, you could add him to this list as well. But I just think that these guys play really good. Obviously, Jalen Tolbert made some big catches. You know, I owe him, I won't say a full apology, but I do owe him an apology. That toe tap at the end of the game from him and Dak was just exceptional. And that just is what these guys have been doing. So those are like my honorable mentions. I'm not going to give them each their own segment, but all of those guys play good football. And I think that Turpin is the one who he's really developing into a receiver. You see the route running. You see him catching the ball with his hands. You see him toe tapping. And Dak trusts him. And that's the beautiful thing about Dak is trusting really all of these guys. And number 1 on my list, Dak Prescott. I've been known to be hard on Dak because the way he's playing is what I've wanted. And I can see now that I have to look myself in the mirror and say, Foots, this front office didn't give him what he needed. He now has what he needs. You give him a George Pickens, this is a Dak Prescott that you're going to get. And I thought that he may have left a pass or 2 out there to Pickens. But, man, for them to be on this wavelength this early, Dak Prescott knowing what he had to deal with Micah Parsons, because I'll be honest, Tyler Guyton played good in the run game, but he got beat a few times. Didn't matter. Dak Prescott stepping up in the pocket, making throws, playing with his hair on fire, playing like a maniac. And it's like Dak is finally at the point in his career where he's not second guessing. And a lot of that does have to do with Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer is dialing things up. It's not hitches. It's not conservative. It's not, the play call is Dak, be aggressive. Dak, play your game. Dak's checking into runs. The run that he checked in where Javonte Williams snuck it out the back door because the defense over committed and overflanked. Like things like that, he's just in full control. And this front office is going to have to look at this defense and say, we got to help Dak Prescott out because he's on a heater right now and you need to ride this wave. Dak Prescott, number one. Number two, George Pickens. This is why you traded that third-round pick for George Pickens. And for whatever you want to say about Micah Parsons, love Micah Parsons to death. I still am a huge Micah Parsons fan. George Pickens had, you talk about somebody who wasn't on the team that is on the team, he had the biggest impact in the game, and it's not close. If you would have told me that without CeeDee Lamb, you'd be able to move the ball like you did in the passing game versus this great defense, come on, man. I would have been like, I don't know, you're going to have to run the ball. And the Cowboys did run the ball. But it was clear that they found a matchup and they liked what they saw with, Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn. It didn't matter. George Pickens was at these guys. You're really happy for Pick because the big catch on the edge, but then the skinny post, like that's a route. That's George Pickens playing Georgia football. Like that's what he did at Georgia, just with bad quarterback play. Guess what? He has great quarterback play. You need to really have a conversation about locking George Pickens up for the long haul because him and CeeDee Lamb, again, it's going to be like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, just a top duo in the NFL. And honestly, this is how the Cowboys are going to have to win games moving forward. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. Number three, another guy who was not on his team who has really shown and proved that he may have earned himself some money. And it's just the mindset that he runs the ball with. Javonte freaking Williams. I told you guys in the offseason that give this guy a chance. Give him a chance, man. And he's great in blitz pickup. He's doing things after the catch. He's catching the ball. He gets stronger as the game goes on. Honestly, the only critique that I had of Brian Schottenheimer is Tober catches that ball in the 5. He's on the 5-yard line, basically. Javonte Williams, and this is in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Javonte Williams should have got at least 2 carries down there. At least 2. He got 1. He got stuffed. I would have designed another run, maybe a pin pull, something to get him downhill and make these guys have to come and tackle him. Teams don't want to tackle him. Think about it. All we heard about this week was not just Micah Parsons. You heard about Quay Walker. You heard about Edge Cooper. You heard about Rashawn Gary. Man, those dudes were falling off of Javonte Williams. I want Shotty to understand because now this is 2 weeks in a row that in the red area, Shotty has gotten kind of pass happy when you could have just ate the ball, man. When I tell young coaches, just eat the ball. Give it to your back. Let him be a bruiser. But nonetheless, Javonte Williams is playing really, really good football.
There's great football players out there everywhere. And what I love about James is, here he is going out and creating, havoc for the quarterbacks and making a strip sack fumble, recovering himself. But he's also running down on kickoffs last week, making the opening kickoff, and did the same thing yesterday in terms of making plays.
Number 4, Foots, how can you put anybody on this defense on this list? I can and I will because he caused a turnover. His name is James Houston. He's earned himself more reps. He has. He's getting off the ball quick. He's sneaky in the run game, but we know what he really can do well, and that's get around the edge. He had the strip sack on Jordan Love, that flip field position. Right after that play, Dak scores a touchdown. Like James Houston has earned himself some reps. It's going to be criminal for the Cowboys not to continue to play this guy. James Houston, star up, standout for sure. And number 5, this was one to me that I just think that as he plays more football, he's going to continue to get better, and that is Donovan Ezaraku. Had a few tackles for loss in the run game. It's not amazing, right? It's not great. He's not getting around the edge, and even he got blown up on a run, and they scored. But you still see what he's going to be the more that he plays. And I thought that If nothing else, the guy is just active. Like, that's what I'm looking for in this defense. We see some of these defenders, man, like Jack Sanborn. I love Jack Sanborn, but he's just limited, right? You see that Donovan Ezeraku has it. The more, like, it will not surprise me that if he comes on, and let's say we get hot and we can get into the playoffs, it would not surprise me if that's when it really starts to click for him as a pass rusher. As he goes through the year, as he starts to see, okay, I can pick my spots here, I could be a run defender here, I can catch the edge here. But Donovan Ezeraku is going to be a special player, and he made this list because you just see him starting to pop on film. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are my 10 standouts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, nobody wants a tie. Like, who wants a tie? I don't even wear ties. But at the end of the day, you did see some good from this team. And I got to tell you, you can get this Jets win. You can get this Carolina win. And then things do start to feel different. It's your boy, Footsdaking, as always. Thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing. I love you all. Peace. Make sure you subscribing. You know what? I do love y'all, but make sure we getting the subscribers up. Let's go up. Let's get to 50K. Hey.